Good afternoon, everyone. It's so wonderful to see you again. Welcome to the 2024 National Scleroderma Foundation Awards Luncheon. I'm Mary Wheatley, CEO of the National Scleroderma Foundation, and whether you're joining us in person or virtually, thank you for being here and celebrating our incredible community with us. I have the privilege of introducing our host, a familiar face to many, Anne Sweeney. Anne is the Foundation's Manager of Community and Volunteer Engagement. Her career with the National Scleroderma Foundation has been long and varied, starting in 2011, when Anne interviewed with Robert Riggs, saying her experience and skills made her uniquely qualified for her role then as the Chapter Relations Director. She had worked many years in nonprofit management and sales, and was most recently the executive director of the New England chapter before turning the reins over to Miriam Moultrie this spring and stepping into her new role. She has shared with us many times that it is the National Scleroderma Foundation's commitment to its mission that keeps her attached to us. And thank you for being with us today to celebrate our community's contributions in the fight against scleroderma. We're so grateful for all you do to advance our mission, and I'd like to invite you up to get started with today's honors.
Thank you, Mary, and hello, everyone, and a very special hello to those who are joining us on Facebook Live. It's exciting to finally be here in Seattle after being thwarted by COVID in 2020, and it was certainly worth the wait. I am so pleased to see so many familiar faces from the Pacific Northwest, especially those I visited with in person years ago at the Evergreen chapter, as well as those I've come to know over the years through this event. I'm honored to be here today as we celebrate the many contributions of those in the National Scleroderma Foundation community, and I am humbled to present our 15 awardees. Our first award shines a light on a core aspect of our community, Outstanding Chapter Awareness, which is awarded to a chapter that consistently keeps awareness and advocacy as vital parts of chapter operations. From stepping out walks to patient education events, from newsletters and social media posts, to participating in advocacy efforts at the local, state, and national levels. I am pleased to announce the Foundation's Upper Great Lakes chapter was selected as the 2024 Outstanding Chapter Awareness recipient. After the chapter's expansion, they became energized and increased activity in their area threefold, holding health conferences in all 3 states and increasing their walks across state lines. They are making great progress increasing awareness in the region, holding walks and education events in states where before there were none, and securing proclamations and light-ups. The Upper Great Lakes chapter is keeping awareness and advocacy efforts at the forefront. At this time, I would like to invite Randy Slickers, Executive Director, and Chapter Chair Peggy Collins to the stage to accept the award.
Hello. Working with Randy has been interesting. Where'd he go? Has been interesting. He's really challenged us to step up and do new things, not do the same old thing. And we're seeing the benefits of that now. So I want to say thank you to everybody who nominated us. Keep watching us, and we want to start working with everybody else as well. It can't be a one chapter thing, it has to be a national thing.
We're good. We're good. We're good.
Congratulations, Upper Great Lakes. Your chapter's commitment is truly inspiring. Support groups are such a critical component of our mission and a strong resource for those who attend. Speaking of support, our next award is for Chapter Support Group Volunteer of the Year. This is awarded to a support group leader who leads by example and encourages others to engage in their community. The foundation recognizes this individual for continued efforts in supporting and promoting their scleroderma community. This year's award recipient, Debbie Charlton, is being honored for her steadfast commitment to rebuilding the support groups in Texoma after the loss of two important leaders, as well as serving as the chair to the Texoma chapter. For 25 years, Debbie has been fighting scleroderma, and her role as a member and leader of a support group has been therapeutic for her journey. She is the lead on All Things Texas and beyond to Oklahoma, where she is rebuilding support groups there. She is as teal as it comes. Please join me in welcoming Debbie to the stage.
Oh my goodness. Thank you, everybody. And I'd like to thank the people that nominated me for this. And as mentioned, it has been difficult. We lost two wonderful support group leaders in Texas a while back. Some of you may remember Giovanna and Jacob. And so it's been my mission from then on to pick up the pieces and move forward. So with that said, I'd like to thank everybody that nominated and voted me in this. And I look forward to continuing to build Texoma. Now we're Texas and Oklahoma. And I look forward to making us bigger and better. So thank you.
Thank you for your words, Debbie, and for your work in providing exceptional support to our community in Texas and Oklahoma. Our next award is for outstanding patient support. This is awarded to an individual who has continuously and tirelessly supported, educated, and uplifted their scleroderma community. I am pleased to announce that this year's Outstanding Patient Support Award goes to Ann Mogilevsky of the Upper Great Lakes chapter. Yeah. Ann has been devoted in her quest to provide advocacy through quality education and knowledge about scleroderma. Her podcasts, Mogul's Mobcast, are just one of the ways she champions the scleroderma community, bringing new speakers and topics bi-weekly. She also uses her former elementary school teacher superpowers to advocate through walk and educational conference planning, strengthening the University of Minnesota Scleroderma Center, and ensuring that all newly diagnosed patients receive a welcome kit with knowledge of the foundation and all that it does. I would like to invite Ann to the stage to accept her award.
First, I'd like to thank the National Scleroderma Foundation for this award. The recognition is an honor. I'd also like to thank many of you who are here today who have been guests on my podcast. You gave your time and knowledge to make these podcast episodes possible. I'd like to thank my editor, Casey, for putting the hours into editing each episode and making it sound great. And lastly, my children, who have been my sounding board and support for the past 3 years. Thank you.
Thank you, Ann, for all the work you do to provide information, knowledge, and support to people living with scleroderma. Our next honor today is for the Advocate of the Year. This is awarded to an individual who personifies what it means to speak up for scleroderma. a person who is active in awareness and advocacy to better the scleroderma community on a local and national level. Our winner is passionate about educating scleroderma patients and caregivers with a focus on self-advocacy. Striving to make a measurable impact on the scleroderma community, she makes many grateful to know and work alongside her. I am pleased to announce Amy Gietzen of the Tri-State Chapter as the Advocate of the Year and would like to welcome her to the stage.
Thanks, everybody. Wow, what an honor. From the moment 23 years ago that I was diagnosed with scleroderma, I was searching for a purpose, something that would make me feel fulfilled as a chronically ill person living with a disease that, let's be honest, is quite difficult to live with. It's not really a productive disease, right? I was unable to achieve my dream of a career in medicine or to move forward as an independent adult. I felt stuck, looking for a way to contribute. Until I was asked to speak at an event in the Capital District of Albany, New York. I had never truly shared my journey with anyone, and at that point, I was super nervous to say the things that I went through and was going through out loud because that made everything real. But as soon as I opened my mouth, it was as if my superpowers were activated. I looked into the audience to see people nodding their heads in agreement with the intimate struggles that I was sharing, and my life was forever changed. Since then, I've spoken all over the country and Canada, advocating for others living with scleroderma whose voices haven't been heard or have yet to be heard. I've had the opportunity to talk with elected officials, big pharma, CEOs, medical professionals, and patients just like me, using my story as a way to activate change. Thank you to the National Scleroderma Foundation for trusting me with this platform to do what I love to do and to grow as an advocate and a leader. A special thank you to my dear friend, Dr. Lee Shapiro, and the Stephan Scleroderma and Dagos Disease Foundation for entrusting me with my first speaking engagement, their interprofessional education event. I would not be the advocate I am today without the confidence and belief that they had in me. Lastly, I'd like to thank you, my fellow scleroderma brothers and sisters. You are the reason I do what I do, the reason I'm so passionate about awareness and advocacy and education. Without you all standing beside me, I would not keep fighting so hard for our community. I'm so humbled and grateful to everyone, especially my mom and dad, who have never once complained, questioned, or rolled their eyes and said, why? They have taken my cause on as their own, and I love them unconditionally for their support. I can see us now slowly inching our way towards a cure for scleroderma, and our future is very bright. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Amy, for your commitment to scleroderma advocacy. Our next honor is for the Outstanding Education Program. This is awarded to an individual, group, or chapter that has maximized available resources within the community to provide patients with an excellent educational experience. We are pleased to award this honor to the Upper Great Lakes chapter. This chapter has implemented a number of educational programs for the scleroderma community, including their monthly Luncheon Learn series, monthly Yoga for Scleroderma series, and their Peer Mentor Plus program. By providing new content, they have filled a gap for education offerings to our community in between annual conferences. I would like to call Camille Novacek, State Lead for Wisconsin, and Randy Slickers, Upper Great Lakes Chapter Executive Director, to the stage to accept their award.
The Upper Great Lakes chapter would like to thank everybody for the foundation for giving us this award, but I would be remiss if, first of all, I didn't thank the crew. I heard a little bit of the cheer from them, the Yoga for Scleroderma folks that have helped us with the movement part of this series. Can we give a big shout out to them for everything that they do? And I really have to acknowledge my fellow EDs from all of the different chapters, because without them promoting this and making it a part of their chapter, we would never get the results that we did. And I'm really excited that our last Lunch and Learn from June, Dr. Yen Chen, who is in the house today, did a session on cognitive decline and brain fog in scleroderma. We had 88 people registered and 58 people attend. So we're building momentum on a number of different topics that are important to you, and I'm super excited to announce that my fellow EDs reached out to me and asked if they could take a more active role within the program. And so starting in September, it will no longer be the Upper Great Lakes chapter Lunch and Learn. It will be the chapter Lunch and Learn, with a goal to have a Lunch and Learn program in each of the time zones at noon. So over the course of the next couple of years, we hope to have that implemented. So every week, there is a quality education program for everybody to do. So thanks all of you who have been on the Lunch and Learn program, and we look forward to making it the all-chapter program and bringing more education services to the community. Thank you.
Thank you to the members of the Upper Great Lakes chapter for your impactful and consistent dedication to educating the community. Now we will recognize the individual fundraiser of the year. This award is presented to an individual who has made an outstanding contribution in raising funds over the last year to support our critical mission work. Their fierce leadership and commitment to philanthropy, combined with consistent excellence in raising funds, is commendable. The individual fundraiser of the year goes to Kelly Hill of the Lower Great Lakes chapter. Kelly has consistently run an impressive bowling event, Bowl for Scleroderma, Thelma's Silent Words, to honor his mother, Thelma, who he lost due to complications related to scleroderma on Christmas Eve. His milestones and actions, such as acquiring a proclamation from the mayor of Beaver Creek, Ohio, declaring June as Scleroderma Awareness Month, and his proficiency at running his ever-expanding event and commitment to keep it going, are commendable. He is an active committee member on the Lower Great Lakes Chapter Advisory Committee and a strong supporter of the National Scleroderma Foundation. I'd like to present Kelly Hill.
Wow, this is amazing. I need to start being a better person with putting word association together. I didn't know how big this was, but it's a national event, so I need to do better with that. I'm gonna try not to get too emotional, so to help me stay away from being emotional, I'm gonna think about the $69 Uber fare that I paid to get here from the airport. And I'm still thinking about today, at this moment. In 2012, I started an overdue grieving process to honor. Okay. In 2012, I started an overdue grieving process to honor my mom, Thelma Marie Hill, who succumbed from scleroderma on Christmas Day in 2004, by hosting a fundraiser to honor her name called Bold for Scleroderma, Thelma Silent Words. I never expected to receive acknowledgement. I believed it was a privilege to extend my mom's legacy and to contribute to the education, research, awareness, and cure of scleroderma. Today's recognition is humbling, and I'm slightly embarrassed because it's the women, men, and kids living with scleroderma that's doing the real work and doing the heavy lifting. And that also includes their caregivers, the loved ones, physicians, researchers, and specialists. Thank you to the National Scleroderma Foundation voting members, Mary Wheatley, and Sweeney, and all the great women I've worked with over the past years for nominating me for this award. I'm humbled, and I appreciate you. I'd be remiss if I didn't think of the Dayton, Ohio support group members past and present. Thank you, Penny Davis and Lloyd Holden, for holding my hand in 2012 when I reached out on a cold call to see how can I be involved. Thank you to Jackie Monahan, who is actually a peer of mine, for coaching me up and laying the foundation for my fundraising foundation that's deep within my soul now. Other ladies that are near and dear to my heart, if I forget your name, charges to my memory and not my heart, but Demi Montgomery, Deb Metz, Wilma Will, rest in peace, Marcia Eads Carlson, Marianne Boyanowski, Tina Fellows, Liz Mulroy, Deanna Bartos, and Debbie Hauser. Thank you. I know I'm forgetting others, and I'm just sorry. Once again, charge it to my heart. Also like to thank my family and friends and support system who've donated money over the years for the bowling event and donated the time by being present and actually showing up. I appreciate you. The professional sports teams and league offices, colleges, universities who donated awesome swag bags and signed sports memorabilia for our event. Friends who donated personal handcraft woodwork for silent auction purposes, and those who mailed mink blankets from abroad to help support the event. I love you, I appreciate you, and you are not forgotten. To my trusted circle of friends who encourage me, design t-shirts, and listen to me whine about how tough it is to fundraise. The Beaverview Bowling Center, where the event is held every year, thank you, and also the Beaver Creek City Council. Lastly, to my wife Cherie and our sons, Kelly Jr. and Kareem, thanks for loving and tolerating my crankiness when I'm in full fundraising preparation mode. I love you beyond perception. You motivate me, inspire me every day. Think of the Uber cab fare. Mom, today is for you. I miss you. Now I'll talk to you tonight. I'll talk to you tonight before I close my eyes. But the hope of seeing you in my dreams. I love you.
If you could, please join me in another round of applause for Kelly, and thank you for your efforts for the Lower Great Lakes chapter. The Philanthropist of the Year is awarded to individuals who have made an outstanding contribution to philanthropy over time with the foundation. These award winners show consistent excellence through their actions and leadership in raising funds to support critical mission work. It is my great honor to present this award to Marty Lehman of the Florida and Puerto Rico chapter for his for his long-standing, unwavering, and generous commitment to our community. After losing his daughter Carmen to scleroderma, Marty and his family wanted to get involved and make a difference. After doing some research, he came across the Southeast Florida chapter. He has now been a vital part of the newly named Florida and Puerto Rico chapter for approximately 12 years. Through his efforts and contacts within his Key West community and his family and friends from all over the country and Canada, Marty, along with Sharon, Nick, and April, hold fundraising events every year. Since 2019, Marty and his crew have raised over $150,000. Through his connections with the Key West business community, these annual fundraising events are primarily funded with minimal out-of-pocket expenses by business owners in this community, in that community. For the chapter's 20th annual Stepping Out Walk this year, Marty and his team raised $19,600. In addition to being a dynamo fundraiser, Marty also acts as the chapter's social media guru and has been a member of the chapter advisory committee for several years. Marty was unable to join us today, but wanted to share the following message.
Hello all, my name is Martin Lehman and I'm a member of the Florida Puerto Rico chapter. In 2001, our daughter Carmen was diagnosed with Raynaud's disease, which eventually led to systemic sclerosis. She struggled through a myriad of procedures while raising a son and earning her sociology degree, but sadly passed away on October 30th, 2007. It took a while to learn that as overwhelming as grief can be, it must be recognized and channeled into something more positive than self-pity. So in 2012, we formed our team, Carmen's Crew, and joined our first Stepping Out Walk in Coconut Creek, Florida. Several years later, we began our own local fundraiser in Key West to complement our online presence. Businesses, organizations, and local attractions offer items and services for raffles and auctions in what has become an anticipated annual event. On the heels of this success, the former ED of our chapter, friend Robin, suggested, browbeat, cajoled, and strong-armed me into joining the board. I think she knew that it would help me appreciate that education and awareness serve us well, or perhaps she was just looking for someone to manage the social media posts. Either way, I was glad to join. So thank you for this award, but more importantly for the recognition that I can pass on to our many supporters, that their time and effort and money and memories are truly appreciated. And I think that Carmen would be proud.
Marty, if you're watching, we thank you for all that you do as a philanthropist for scleroderma. Our next award goes to an individual who leads by example and encourages others to engage in their local community with all of the mission-critical work of the chapter. This award honors an individual whose contributions have added significantly to the National Scleroderma Foundation, the Chapter Volunteer of the Year. It is my honor and privilege to award Camille Cami Novacek as the Chapter Volunteer of the Year. Cami has become the Wisconsin State Lead for Scleroderma, relentless in establishing the foundation for the Upper Great Lakes chapter. She demonstrates initiative and innovation in developing a creative and sound educational program for those seeking a supportive and social community for information concerning scleroderma. She has developed and implemented monthly events which have so far included the first meet and greet for the scleroderma community in Wisconsin at Lambeau Field, developed an online holiday cookbook, created a virtual bingo night, and a virtual Valentine's painting event. She has and continues to seek out proclamations for scleroderma recognition from the mayors and governor of Wisconsin. The foundation is grateful for Cami's continued support of the chapter and the National Foundation. Cami, I'd like to invite you to the podium.
Thank you very much. Oh, goodness, it's tippy. Thank you. I was diagnosed with scleroderma in March of 2021, and the first 3 years were really rough. During that time, though, I knew that I had a choice. I could either sit back in a corner and let scleroderma eat me alive, or I could do something to get moving. I understood at that time that if I changed my focus, I could change my perspective. So I set a goal, and that goal was to help as many people as I could navigating this journey of scleroderma, and also being a spreader and offering a voice of hope. I started to say yes to all the educational opportunities, which led me to connect with Peggy Collins and then to Randy Slickers. And as you can imagine from the stories you've already heard, volunteer opportunities ensued. Craziness. It has been my joy to be a volunteer for the National Scleroderma Foundation because it's really given me that vehicle I was looking for to be able to help others. And it also helped me as well. Building the community in the state of Wisconsin, the great state of Wisconsin, has been an absolute thrill. And along with building community in our chapter and across all the chapters. But I didn't get here alone. And so I just really, first of all, I would like to thank God, because by the grace of God, I am standing here with you today. My amazing family and friends, I've got an amazing tribe that stands behind me. Dr. Mary Ellen Shuka, my rheumatologist, and the scleroderma community, which you guys are just actually, you're just amazing. I can't imagine where I would be without the community who you just fold people into the group and you take care of each other, and I really appreciate that. And I'd like to thank my amazing hubby, Denny, St. Denny over here. Thank you for being my rock and my support and my biggest blessing. And thank you for everybody who nominated me, and I'm just really, truly grateful.
Thank you, Cammie. The next award, Chapter of the Year, recognizes overall excellence in advancing the mission of the foundation in the areas of support, education, and research by a chapter. As many of you know, our chapters are a grassroots effort meeting the needs of our local communities and delivering mission daily. The 2024 Chapter of the Year award goes to the Upper Great Lakes chapter. This chapter has continually pushed to offer new programs to the scleroderma community, adding the Luncheon Learn program, the Movement program, and health conferences offered at the chapter level and nationwide. They've increased their awareness and advocacy efforts to being more present in the walks and in proclamations and light-ups, and initiated a program with the University of Michigan to offer programs to patients. They are currently working on the Peer Mentor Plus program, a health binder, and other tools for patients and caregivers to use. Please help me welcome Peggy Collins, Chapter Advisory Committee Chair and Michigan State Lead, Ann Mogilewski, and Randy Slickers to the stage.
It's only 7 pages, Ann. Relax.
I'm warning you.
On any given day, my daughter Savannah Rose and I are bee stewards to about 250,000 bees. Some of you have heard me talk about these bees and how incredible and how complex the hive is and all of the different jobs that they do in the hive. It makes me think of the incredible people in our chapter who keep our hive strong and are most deserving of this award. I'd like to take a moment to acknowledge them. First, each of my state leads and advisory committee chair have received awards today, and you've heard about their amazing accomplishments. So I'd like to acknowledge some of the other great volunteers of our chapter. Like the many jobs of the hive, there are as many different types of scleroderma warrior. To those who do research, like Dr. Yen Chen and Dr. Susan Murphy, Thank you for your dedication in finding treatments and one day a cure, and for all the others who do research that you represent. To all the amazing doctors of our chapter, like Dr. Dinesh Khanna, Drs. Varga, Shuka, Molitor, Dr. Tuttle, and the many other medical professionals in our chapter that they represent. To Elizabeth Copeland and Denny Novacek, who represent the many care partners whose passion and compassion drive them to stand by their loved ones that have the battle with scleroderma each and every day, and the many care partners that they represent. To the Malice family, who marked the 10-year anniversary of their mother Connie's passing this past March, and the Peterson family, who lost their mother this February, Linda. These families work hard to preserve their mother's memory and legacy by supporting the chapter and the foundations. Despite the incredible loss they endure, they represent all the families who have lost loved ones to this disease. They inspire us all. And to those who carry the direct weight of scleroderma, like Anita Devine and Amy Daniels and Dawn Matsu, they represent the thousands of other scleroderma warriors in our chapter who give strength and hope to everyone that they touch. And last, but certainly not least, to Ashley Pruitt, who recruited me for this position and has been an amazing leader. Ashley, thank you for bringing me into this hive. These people represent the thousands of others across 3 states that make our chapter what it is. And one of the beautiful things about these people is that everything they do, every program they create, they do so everyone can participate regardless of what chapter they are in. For we know that we are part of a greater hive represented by all of you here today. I would like to close with a last thought about bees, but first I would like to ask anyone that's here today from the Great Lakes chapter to stand and be recognized, for it is you who are truly deserving of this award. It is said that there's a poster about bees that hangs in NASA's headquarters, and it reminds me of the spirit of a scleroderma warrior. It goes something like this. Aerodynamically, a bee's body is not meant to fly, but the bee doesn't know it. The law of physics say that a bee cannot fly. The aerodynamic principle says that the breadth of its wings is too small to keep the size of its body in flight. But a bee doesn't know. It doesn't know anything about physics or logics, and it flies anyway. That is what we can all do, fly and prevail in every moment in the face of any difficulty in any circumstance, despite what they say. So I challenge all of us to this. Let us be bees, no matter the size of our wings, and let us fly so that we can enjoy the rich nectar and pollen of life. On behalf of everyone in our chapter, we thank you for giving us the Chapter of the Year Award, and we give you our commitment that we will remain steadfast, passionate, and relentless in our pursuit to provide programs, services, education, and raising funds until the day a cure can be found. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Randy, Peggy, Ann, and Cammie. Congratulations to everyone in the Upper Great Lakes chapter for your amazing work. Our next award is the Jacob DeVilla Memorial Leadership Award. This is a relatively new award in its 2nd year and was created in coordination with Jacob's family. Many of you knew Jacob. He was a beloved member of our community and the Texoma chapter, who we lost in the fall of 2021. He was kind, inspiring, supportive, and a light to us all. To know Jacob was to love and be inspired by him. His energy and enthusiasm radiated through the community, and his loss was very deeply felt by everyone. To pay tribute, someone who embodies the characteristics of Jacob is such an honor for me. The Jacob Davila Memorial Leadership Award is presented to a volunteer who is committed to service and understands that true wisdom is gained in community, and that serving others is a privilege and an honor, serves as a community builder who believes in enriching and ennobling the lives of others within the scleroderma community, and demonstrates characteristics consistent with servant leadership. The 2024 Jacob Davila Memorial Leadership Award is presented to Debbie Charlton of the Texoma chapter. I want you to hear these words, Debbie. I want you to hear these words. Debbie has been instrumental in leading the way to rebuild and re-energize the Texoma chapter. There has never been a moment when Debbie wasn't glowing with a smile and ready to help, even on days when her scleroderma makes it really difficult for her. Debbie is always positive when sought for advice or help in any given situation, and she exemplifies servant leadership, putting the needs of the scleroderma community at the forefront. She is an empathic listener, kind, and committed to the growth of her chapter and the larger foundation community. Please join me in welcoming Debbie Charlton to the podium.
Oh, Lord. Sorry. I am extremely humbled to receive this award. It has been very difficult as a patient to continue this journey. I've had wonderful mentorships in my life. As I mentioned, Giovanna and Jacob had opened the pathways and just opened the doors for me to do what I love to do, to continue the missions that they love to do. I could not step back and not let Texas continue with what they've started. They made it so easy. They had me spoiled. They literally did everything. And unfortunately, we lost them. And I promised both of them that I would continue. And with that continuing promise that I made, I cannot emphasize to each and every one of you here today that Ashley, Karen, and Liz, and many others have been very instrumental in opening their arms, taking me in, helping me, giving me the guidance that I need to continue and to be strong. As a scleroderma patient, to continue to advocate, to continue to be there for other patients is like therapy for me. And I understand what Jacob got out of the role that he played, because I too am feeling that now from all the love from patients, support, and everybody in this room and others. I'd like to thank the others that have opened the way for me to continue, my family, my husband, my daughter, and my son back in San Antonio. They support me no matter how crazy it gets. And they understand what it means to me to continue this journey and being there for my patients, for friends, to educate anybody that will listen to me in the elevators or at the stores. I can talk your ear off about scleroderma and what we go through. And I just pray, and I thank every one of you for your support that you give to other scleroderma patients and family. And I know together, we continue down this road, we will find a cure for scleroderma someday. Thank you. Thank you.
What an inspiration you are, Debbie. I also speak on behalf of Jacob's family by extending their congratulations to you as well. Jacob would be very proud of you. I'm delighted to present the National Volunteer of the Year Award. This honor is given to an individual who leads by example and encourages others to engage in their community. This award honors an individual whose contributions have added significantly to the National Scleroderma Foundation. Our winner has dedicated her life to the foundation and its mission. She serves as the advisory committee chair for the Upper Great Lakes chapter, is instrumental in helping run the Peer Mentor Plus pilot program, and leads the Chapter Leadership Council. She also serves as a mentor through the University of Michigan Scleroderma Center Peer Mentor Program. She's also been a tremendous asset to the development of this very conference. I'm pleased to award Peggy Collins as our National Volunteer of the Year. When asked for a quote, Randy Slickers offered that Peggy has helped to craft and execute the strategy of the Upper Great Lakes chapter to bring the highest level of programs, services, education, and fundraising. She works tirelessly, and I think he said relentlessly, each and every day to not only make her chapter better, but the entire foundation as well. Her capacity to help patients and their family knows no bounds. Peggy, I welcome you to the podium.
It wasn't too long ago, I was asked why I volunteer. And I can give you two answers to that question. Number one, it's about the connections that we make with each other, whether it's patient to patient, patient to ED, patient to your fellow coworkers. Working with National, Ashley's been a source of somebody that I can emulate to be. But it's those connections that hold tight. I never would have had the friends I have now if it hadn't been for scleroderma. So in that case, thank you, scleroderma. The second thing is that because I have the connections to all of you, I want to do for all of you, I want to find a cure for all of you, and I want to be a support to all of you. So thank you for nominating me for this, and I will continue to do all that I can.
Congratulations again, Peggy. Well, we are in the home stretch of our awards, so let's just give another round of applause for our winners and take a quick stretch if you need to. Okay. Our next award is for an individual whose words and actions offer continued hope and inspiration to our community. The award celebrates an individual whose positive attitude and spirit exemplify hope for all people living with scleroderma. It is my pleasure to announce Lucille Miller as Messenger of Hope. Lucille delivers hope every last Sunday of the month with a smile and a positive attitude. As the host of the Sunday Sit Down, she brings her audience together to feel less alone and not always thinking about the challenging parts of their journey, bringing fun topics to the table such as art, music, and games, etc. Even after 30 years of fighting scleroderma, she still radiates hope with a positive attitude. Scleroderma and the Foundation's mission is her main priority. She served as the chair of the Ohio chapter, now the Lower Great Lakes chapter, for many years. Regardless of how much scleroderma has tested her every single day, you would never know because her smile lights up a room. Lucille could not be with us today, but she sent this video message for all of us.
Hello from Cleveland. I certainly wish I could be there with all of you. However, I am taking care of my mother who is suffering with a severe terminal cancer. A wonderful friend shared that I'm not just a patient anymore. I'm also a caregiver. Now, I couldn't be more thankful for this award. This is an award that I have felt deeply about for many years, and I truly couldn't be more humbled. Why does this mean so much to me? Well, the word hope is a word that has meant everything to me and this disease. I personally think everybody out there, everybody, all of you, are messengers of hope. Hope is a very deep word, and I feel if you don't have hope and you just stay stuck in that same nasty place, then you can't move on with your journey. I do believe that you must be shown hope to give hope to others. I've been so lucky and in my life and my journey to receive hope from patients who have become lifelong friends. You know who you are. Numerous doctors, my family, my wonderful husband, who builds me up with hope pretty much daily. If I've given hope to one person out there, just one, then I feel I have succeeded. Since I'm not there right now, I would like to ask a very special doctor to receive this award for me. Dr. Chatterjee at the Cleveland Clinic not only makes your appointments fun, and he has a great sense of humor, but he gave me hope. When I first saw him, he told me, "I'm never going to give up on you." And that meant everything in the world to me because I really needed to hear that. Hope is about not giving up on yourself and not giving up on your scleroderma journey. You are all special, and that includes the many that we have unfortunately lost. Thank you all, and thank you, Dr. Chatterjee, for giving me hope, your kindness, and receiving this award for me. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Lucille, for those kind words. So I am so proud to accept this award on your behalf. So as we accept this award, let us remember the importance of continued research, advocacy, and compassion. So let us strive to amplify the voices of those living with scleroderma and work towards a future where cure is within reach. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Chatterjee. And Lucille, if you're watching, thank you so much for your commitment to our community. We love you. At this time, I would like to invite Mary Wheatley back to the podium to award the next 3 recipients. Mary?
I was just making sure Upper Great Lakes didn't take all the awards, so there were some left. Thank you, Anne. Each year, the National Scleroderma Foundation presents the Doctor of the Year Award to a physician whose dedication has improved the lives of thousands of people living with scleroderma. This doctor has also demonstrated exceptional skills in clinical practice and patient education while maintaining the mission, vision, and values of the National Scleroderma Foundation. It is my honor and privilege to award Dr. Mary Ellen Shuka as the Doctor of the Year 2024. Dr. Shuka, a professor of medicine in the Division of Rheumatology, graduated from the New York Medical College and completed her residency in internal medicine at the Hartford Hospital in Hartford, Connecticut. Dr. Shuka joined Medical College of Wisconsin as a general internist before becoming board certified in rheumatology and joining the Division of Rheumatology. Dr. Shuka established the Frodert MCW Scleroderma Clinic, which has been recognized by the Foundation as a designated scleroderma research and treatment center since 2013. She has a longstanding interest and commitment to the prevention and treatment of postmenopausal osteoporosis. Her medical expertise and training in rheumatology and geriatrics allow her to serve as a clinical resource for her colleagues at Medical College of Wisconsin and in the community. She has been a presenter at the Wisconsin Update in Geriatric Medicine since its inception and has received numerous grants, awards, and contracts. She is an invited lecturer locally, nationally, and internationally. Dr. Shuka has been an incredible contributor to the quality of life for people living with scleroderma. She is an advocate for patients working with other specialties to ensure seamless continuity of care and shares her knowledge with her colleagues to ensure that they have a scope to treat scleroderma effectively. Most of all, she is responsive to the needs of her patients, whose treatment needs can be ever-evolving, and is committed to holding roundtable discussions with other medical providers to increase their knowledge of the disease. Dr. Shuka, will you please join me on stage to accept your award?
Well, it is absolutely delightful to be here in Bellevue, and it is an honor to accept this award, but I must give the Upper Great Lakes chapter a lot of credit, and I thank them, and I thank the National Conference for awarding this award. And I accept it in honor of the so many patients who've allowed me to take the journey, the scleroderma journey with them, and who've taught me really a lot more than in the books about how to manage scleroderma on a day-to-day basis. And they would give me their secrets, and I would pass them on to the next patient. And it's a community. So thank you very much.
I'm very honored to present the second to last award of the day for distinguished service. Dr. Virginia Steen is professor of medicine with tenure and rheumatology fellowship director at Georgetown University Medical Center in Washington, D.C. She is also chief of the rheumatology division. Dr. Steen received her MD from University of Pittsburgh, completed her residency in internal medicine at the University of Pennsylvania, and completed a fellowship in rheumatology at the University of Pittsburgh, where she was on faculty before coming to Georgetown. She has received many awards, including the American College of Rheumatology Clinical Science Award, Scleroderma Doctor of the Year, and the Lifetime Achievement Award, both from the National Scleroderma Foundation, and the American College of Rheumatology Excellence and Investigative Mentor Award in 2012, and she is also a master of the college. Dr. Steen has dedicated her career to understanding the epidemiology and natural history of systemic sclerosis. Her research has resulted in more than 200 publications, many of which are seminal studies on risk factors and outcomes for lung involvement, autoantibodies, and survival in scleroderma. She remains very involved in clinical trials for scleroderma, including studies on pulmonary fibrosis. And in addition to her research accomplishments and interests, Dr. Steen is a skilled clinician and a passionate advocate for people living with scleroderma. She served as chair of the Foundation's Medical and Scientific Advisory Board from 2017 to 2022. The National Scleroderma Foundation is honored to award Dr. Virginia Steen the Distinguished Service Award for her exceptional meritorious service to the scleroderma community. Throughout her years of service, Dr. Steen has demonstrated a great breadth and scope of contribution to the scleroderma community, making long-lasting contributions to education, research, leadership, and service, both to the community at large and to the foundation itself. Unfortunately, Dr. Steen is unable to be with us this weekend. We'll make sure to get her award, but please join me in thanking Dr. Steen for all her years of service. Our final award today is the Lifetime Achievement Award. This award is the Foundation's highest honor. It is awarded to individuals who give extraordinary service to the mission of the National Scleroderma Foundation. I could not be more pleased to announce this year's Lifetime Achievement Award is presented to Dr. Carol Fagali-Bostwick. Dr. Carol Fagali-Bostwick was recruited to the Medical University of South Carolina, Division of Rheumatology and Immunology in 2013 as the Smart State and Kitty Trask Holt Endowed Chair and Professor of Medicine. She earned her PhD in microbiology and immunology at Tulane University in New Orleans. At MUSC, Dr. Fagali-Bostwick leads a team of clinical and basic scientists focusing on the pathogenic mechanisms underlying fibrosis, whose goal is to identify novel targets for therapy and develop new antifibrotic strategies for scleroderma, idiopathic pulmonary fibrosis, and other fibrosing conditions. She serves as vice chair of the board of directors for the foundation and is also chair of the research committee and liaison to our medical and scientific advisory board. She was selected as our Messenger of Hope in 2013 and has continued her board service for many years with dedication. Dr. Fagali-Bostwick also contributes to the mentoring of young physician and academic scientists and sees mentoring as one of her primary functions for future generations of scleroderma and translational scientists. She's mentored more than 30 young researchers, many of them physician scientists, and was awarded the prestigious Peggy Shakti Research Mentor Award in 2018. Earlier this year, she was honored with the Recognition Award for Scientific Accomplishments by the American Thoracic Society. The award recognizes outstanding scientific contributions to enhance the understanding, prevention, and treatment of respiratory disease, critical illness, or sleep disorders, and recognizes exemplary professionalism, collegiality, and citizenship through mentorship and scientific involvement. Dr. Fagali-Bostwick is an internationally recognized translational researcher and leader in the field of scleroderma. She leads MUSC and the foundation with the utmost care in finding a cure. It is my honor and pleasure to ask Carol to join me on stage to accept this award.
Ooh, Kelly, how much was that Uber fare? I am honored to receive this award. I'm very humbled to receive this award. And when I found out I was receiving it, I had to do some deep thinking as to how I got here and who was along the way on my journey who made it possible for me to get here. Obviously, I'm grateful to those who nominated me. They remain anonymous, but please know that I really appreciate this. I am incredibly grateful to have had the opportunity and to continue to have the opportunity to serve the scleroderma community through my service at the National Scleroderma Foundation, which has for years been my home away from home. I'm also very grateful to my colleagues over the years who have helped me through my journey, my collaborators, and there's many of them, more than 50 worldwide, to my trainees who inspire me, to my staff who do all the work to get us where we are in research. There's also been some special people without whom I would not be here. I am here because of my mom, because she did not cave in to the cultural pressures of my birth country and allowed me, as a young woman, when all her friends told her I should just stay back and get married, allowed me to go far from home and pursue my passion for research on scleroderma. To my sister, who serves on my personal board of directors and sees me through the ups and downs. To my two amazing kids, right here, Serena and James, who are now teenagers and keep me very humble every day. And last but not least, to my amazing husband, Chris. That Uber Farragut, who has been my rock and the rock of our family, who has done everything possible and made all sorts of sacrifices to make sure that scleroderma stays up front in our goal and our mission and make it possible for me to dedicate my time to doing research on scleroderma and to serve the National Scleroderma Foundation. I am grateful to all of you because you inspire me to keep going. We will find a cure, I am confident. It's just a matter of which day is it going to be. Thank you for this honor. I am so very grateful, and I hope to have the opportunity to continue serving my scleroderma community and my scleroderma tribe for as long as possible. Thank you.
Carol, thank you for your words and your leadership in scleroderma. On behalf of the foundation, I would like to thank each of you for joining us today and to congratulate the awardees one more time with a round of applause. Our volunteers worked tirelessly in their efforts to raise awareness, support our community, and find a cure. So before you leave for the next breakout session, let me remind you about our post-conference survey. If you complete the survey before 10 a.m. tomorrow, you can be entered into a drawing for free registration for next year's National Scleroderma Conference. Use the QR code on the screen or visit scleroderma.org/conference survey to complete the online survey. You can show the completion screen to someone at the registration desk to receive your raffle ticket. The registration desk will also have paper copies for you to complete and turn in for a ticket. Again, thank you for your time and your valuable feedback. It's been an honor and a pleasure to be here with you all today. Thank you and have a wonderful afternoon.